we don't think about what the practice for that is doing. We just had huge games. I think Thailand was part of it. War games here, something called RIMPAC. It's 26 countries participated in the largest war games in the world. And they bombed. What they're doing is practicing bombing from ships. So they bomb into the ocean, or north of here. And, so the bottom is littered with U.S. garbage from this bombing. And those kinds of issues are just not raised, not talked about.
That is effect to Hawaiian for more living costs. And I have seen many of them on the street.
Absolutely. Many of the Hawaiian people are among the poorest. It's their nation, but they're among the poorest. And many of them are living on the streets. Often, and actually more people live on the streets when you aren't here. Because they clean up the streets for these big meetings.
So, I see. It's more dirty than before we come.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
I didn't realize that.
And a lot of them are veterans who have not been able to get medical help, and they end up on the streets. A lot are from Micronesia, especially the Marshalls, where the Marshall Islands where the U.S. bombed. And people have still radiation sickness from the bombing of Bikini. And so the people with radiation sickness have to come to Honolulu for medical care. Because they don't have medical care on many of those islands. But when they come, they can't afford the housing. So they're living on the streets with their families.
There is no any welfare work from the governor to help them.
There is some, but it's not adequate because many need health care. They need mental health care. Many of them have PTSD. I don't know if you trauma from wars, or trauma from living on the streets, or trauma from rape, and they end up on the streets. And that health care is not being provided. So even if you can get some sort of a housing situation, you still have the underlying problems. But there are tens of thousands of people here without homes.
10,000 of people.
At least.
In a little city like this. It's a lot.
And then if you go up the Waianae coast, it's a poor area on the other side of the island. And there's a lot of bushes, and there are hundreds and hundreds of people living in small encampments in the bushes. You do not see those.
No.
So it's much greater than what you're seeing.
I see. And do they come here for work?
Some people come for other islands for work and for health care, to be able to send their kids to school, because many of the islands don't have school beyond elementary. So they're sending them here, but then they cannot afford to live here. Other people are mentally, what the government in the U.S. has done is it has closed mental institutions.